And I want to thank you all for coming. I also want to note that my remarks this evening are being recorded so that they can be shared not only with those of us who are here today, but also those who are not here with us today. As you came into the building this evening, I'm sure you noticed that outside the sanctuary now features our Tree of Life. This move from the old sanctuary took a great deal of effort, and as you can see, it's a beautiful adornment. This lovely sculpture will also be incorporating a Kulanu donor appreciation component and represents in some ways the completion of the Kulanu project. We will have a special service on March 7th, save the date, to commemorate its rededication. Look for announcements about it and about opportunities to purchase leaves on the tree. We're holding the price of the leaves at the $250 that it has been for a long time, but that price will increase to $300 after the first of the year. So we hope you'll take advantage of that opportunity now. At the midpoint of what has been, to say the least, an interesting year for TBC, I want to talk briefly about where we are and where we're going. First, I want to mention that we've actually had some great successes these last 6 months. With minimal notice and under intense time pressure, we geared up, conducted a search, and hired an interim rabbi. In this year of calendar oddities, you might also have noted that the high holidays came exceptionally early. This only intensified our time pressure. We're very fortunate to have Rabbi Lipper with us this year, and this is a good time to say thanks for being here. Immediately after the holidays, and with some additional immediately thereafter, with some additional organizational transition, we were able to manage the logistics to conduct our services at Wilton High School. And immediately after the holidays, we organized the search committee, which is now in full swing of finding our next settled rabbi. So you might say, well, sure, that's great, but that's your jobs. And yes, I, the executive committee, and the board all fully accepted those responsibilities when we became board and executive committee members. But like every other member of the executive committee and our board, and most of our members, each of us has a full-time job, family responsibilities, and we're each just volunteers. We have a small, dedicated, hardworking, and underappreciated group of employees, but everything else here is done by volunteers. So after that incredibly intense period from June through October, I think we all just stepped back a little bit and caught our breaths. Hardly surprising. Now we have the opportunity to think about some of our congregational culture that made us strong and vibrant. Who and what do we want to be? How can we reclaim some of our roots? We've talked much about the need to make TBC a community. One of the outcomes of the growth that we experienced during the 2000s was that we necessarily had to divide ourselves up in a number of ways just to make us physically fit into what was then our space. As our membership declined a bit during the past 5 years, the question now is to ask whether we've lost some critical mass. We can still gather substantial participation in certain events. A few great examples. The Stop Hunger Now event from last month. The fun Bless Our Pets service. Simchat Torah. We had about 100 people come to last Friday night's family service. But we need to be a bigger crowd more often. So we're in the process of revisiting some old assumptions. What time should Shabbat services begin? Do we need to have 2 sessions of Sunday and Hebrew school? Can we logistically manage all the high holiday services in our building? Over the next few months, we'll fully analyze those and other issues and come to decisions about what makes best sense. We're completely open to your opinions and suggestions. Tell us what you think. Be part of our vibrancy. It's vital for us to re-engage as a community frequently. We have so many things at our core to work with. Sisterhood has been reinvigorated this year. The rabbi has led a stimulating set of adult ed programs. Our school continues to function at a high level. Our challenge now is how we build on this core and radiate outward to create the community we want to be. As with everything at TBC, it's all about us. Be one of our volunteers. Help us to plan the path ahead. What else can you do to help build, to rebuild, to strengthen the TBC community? Call another member, invite them to dinner or coffee. Participate in their lives. Share the symptoms. When you're coming to services or for a meeting here, call someone. Bring them with you. Bolster attendance. Add to our energy level. We can do it. Let's connect with ourselves. Let it start with us. Thank you.